Hello everyone, today I would like to share with you the books that I would like to read in the month of November. As usual, it's pretty ambitious, so these are mostly just books that I feel like reading now, but hopefully I still feel like reading them when I get to them. But without further ado, let's get started. If you've been following me on Twitter or Instagram, or if you watched my last video, you'll know that I'm obsessed with Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, which I'm currently reading. I'm only 10 or 12% into this book, but there's no doubt in my mind that I will be finishing it. It is, I believe, apocalyptic or post-apocalyptic novel that centers around this mysterious flu that takes out the majority of the population, but it goes back and forth in time from when it happens and 20 years in the future, and it's also around these characters who were in a play during the time when it happened. And even just like 10% into the book, I'm totally in, and I was worried that I'd hyped it up for myself too much, but I don't think that's going to be the case. But I will definitely be finishing that in the month of November. The next book that I would like to read, or at least make progress in, is a book that you've probably seen on the channel for a little while because I keep putting it aside, and it is The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith. Again, I have nothing against this book, but other things keep distracting me. I would love to finish this in the month of November just so that I can finish it, because I've had it going since I think September. Again, very good. I like it. Just keep getting distracted. The next book that I will probably most definitely pick up after Station 11, and hopefully after making progress in The Cuckoo's Calling, is The Little Stranger by Sarah Waters. This book is adored by many people that I adore, and I've been wanting to read it for ages and ages, but it's kind of had a re-emergence into the attention of booktubers, and I think it's because it's kind of a perfect autumnal read. It is described as a modern gothic. It's kind of a haunted house type story, and I don't usually get into that, but I heard Denny, whom I adore, do a rave review about it and was talking about how this book was one of the few books that gave her a book hangover. And while that's not an ideal symptom from a book, she made it sound so much more appealing, so I requested it via interlibrary loan and hope to read it pretty soon after finishing Station 11. The next book that I have on my TBR is The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. I've mentioned this book a few times on my channel recently. It is quite a short book, but it is a series of vignettes about a young Latino woman growing up in the streets of Chicago. The thing that made me re-interested in this book was a podcast over on the Reading Lives, and it's basically this Book Riot podcast, which I love, no surprise, where Jeff O'Neill interviews bookish people, whether they're writers or somehow otherwise involved in the bookish publishing community, about their reading lives. Go figure. And I listened to one of them by Meg Medina, I believe is her name, and the way that she described this book, man, it seems so quintessential and just magical, and I hope to get to it soon, if not for the shallow reason of it being small and excellent and being another addition to my read 5 before I buy list. The next book that I would like to read in the month of November is The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. This is just for a good, fun, entertaining young adult read. This book had some buzz a few months ago. It is, I believe, a YA, maybe a fantasy, but anyway, it's about this young princess who is arranged to be married to someone, and she's just not into it. So on the day of her wedding, she runs off and makes a new home in a small town far away. Two strangers enter this town. We, the reader, because of the synopsis, know that one of these people is the prince who she abandoned at the altar, and another is an assassin sent to kill her. She doesn't know this because she's never met either of them, so we don't know this, and it's super love triangle-y, but I just love the idea of not knowing who to root for, and it just seems like a lot of fun. And I'm supposed to be doing a casual buddy read with a couple of Twitter friends. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And the last book that I have with me that I would ideally enjoy reading is Not That Kind of Girl by Lena Dunham. I saw her interview for this book either on Colbert Show or the Jon Stewart Show, and I had no interest in it beforehand, but something about her, I don't really know that much about Lena Dunham, surprisingly enough. Something about her presence just made me want to pick it up and read it, so when I saw it at the library, I picked it up. And it's been getting some mixed reviews, but I think that makes me a little more excited about it so I can form my own opinions about this book. And it's just aesthetically very pleasing. Unfortunately, it's a pain in the butt to take the library cover off, but the inside is really nice as well. I really appreciate that, and the cover itself is really beautiful, but you'll have to trust me. I also have a few books on hold here at the library, and I also have a few books hopefully coming to me via the interlibrary loan system, but it's really optimistic if I finish those. But if my mood changes, these are books that I may also pick from. The first one being 2666 by Roberto Balaño. It is a science fiction novel, I believe, about these people from all different walks of life who meet at a boundary line in Mexico after several women go missing, I think. Steve Reed's Books and Barry Pierce, along with Elizabeth over at Books and Junk, are doing a buddy read of this month. It is a huge book. I think it's 800 to 1,000 pages, but it sounds amazing. Hopefully I can get to it, and hopefully the interlibrary loan lady can find it for me. I also have The Narrow Road to the Deep North on hold, and after seeing my dear friend Katrina's reaction to this book, I knew that I had to read it. It also won the Man Booker Prize. Otherwise, I've heard kind of mixed things about it, but it sounds right up my alley, and I completely trust Katrina. Now, those are all of the books that I would like to read, but as TBRs go, my moods fluctuate, so anything can happen. I do have a couple of other books checked out from the library, which you will see in my currently checked out from the library video. Hopefully I can come up with a snazzier title than that. But that is all that I have to share with you today. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, please feel free to leave your comments on any of the books I shared here today down below, and I will see you soon with a new video.